Second, no, divisional headquarters, I think. He was a pretty good bloke guy. He was organising a concert party. It was a bit of entertainment. It was a great place to be in Caldecott Estate, in my opinion. But like compared to what happened subsequently.
Yeah. Now, the senior officers who were up there, was Cappy up there or was Pond up there?
Pondy.
Pond.
Colonel Pond.
Yeah.
Great bloke, great bloke. Pond was good, and Cappy, I'd never heard of Cappy.
Yeah.
He turned out to be a bit of a mongrel.
Yeah, oh well. We might come to that. So what other camps did you live in while you were?
No, I didn't, on Caldecott Estate.
Now, yes, if we can move forward now to April 1943, when F Force was to go to Thailand, when did you know that you were on that party?
Well, about a week before we left Changi, we left Selarang. We were told there was a party going up there, and we were told that we were on it. There were about 3,500 Australians and 3,500 Brits. On the appointed day, I just forget the day, but it was the latter part of the month, April. I was on the #1 party to leave Selarang Barracks. We were told that we were going to a rest camp up in Thailand. All of the people were told to bring their musical instruments with them. There would be a transport for us when we arrived at our destination to take us to our rest camp, where food was going to be amazingly plentiful, and we couldn't quite understand why we were going to be so well off. But the Japs said, well, it's easier to feed you up there in Thailand than it is in Singapore. Well, okay. So anyhow, we were taken on trucks into the railway station in Singapore, all out of the trucks, and here's your carriages. They were rice trucks, 28 to a truck. Steel wagons, door on either side, and the rest of it get in. Wasn't enough room for everybody to sit down at one time. 28 persons in these rice trucks was overcrowded by about 16. Anyhow, that was it. Doors were shut, nowhere to have a piddle. Moved out. Hence, that was #1 train party on F Force. Incredible. We had a Dixie of rice with us when we left Singapore, when we left Changi, Selarang. Let me call it Changi because everybody knows Changi as a name. But I don't recall day-to-day thing because one day runs into another, doesn't it? When you're locked up in a rice truck. But for days and days we used to get stopped somewhere and we'd get some food on 2 days, but we only got 2 supplies of food to my recollection through the whole of that trip. We were on that train for 4 nights. When we got to a place called Bampong in Thailand, train stopped and all out. Well, we were in a bloody mess from the word go. During the course of the trip up there, we were short of every damn thing. No food. I think we got food on 2 occasions. Plain rice, and I can't recall exactly, but there was very little food, and you couldn't even piddle, urinate, is the word. For the major motion, you had to stick your bottom out of the truck door. Hold 2 blokes would hold on to you while you squatted and dropped your business out on the train line. You weren't allowed to. No such thing as toilet paper. It's incredible to me when I think of all the shortages that there were. Incredible. Anyhow, there's been a lot of information written about the trip up on the train. The Changi Photographer's got a great story. It's a great book put out by Tim Bowden of the 8 BC. It tells the story in detail for those that are interested in it. But when we got to Bampong, we had to march some short distance with all our goods and chattels into a camp where we were strip searched, and everybody that had anything of an incriminating nature was trying to find places to hide it and get rid of it. Some of the blokes had pistols. Of course, it was going to be criminal offence. We were told what we couldn't have, but folks defied that, of course. We spent only the one day in Bampong. We were told we were on the move the next morning. We had a dreadful time in that place. It was a dreadful place. On the move next morning, and we marched through, must have been 16 to 20 miles, I'm not sure, heading towards Canberra. We stopped somewhere halfway to Kanchanbury overnight. Marched the next, I think it was the next day, or was it the night we marched, because from there on we marched there only at night time. Went through Kanchanbury. Can't we went over the train bridge there, the railway bridge.
Can I just check you on that? Are you sure about that?
I'm a bit hazy there at Kanchanbury. I don't quite recall it, but we must have gone over the train bridge.
Not necessarily.
No?
Now,
Kanchanbury.
yes, so Ken, if we can just retrace your recollections of your march up from Kanchanaburi.
I must confess that at Kanchanbury, I don't think it was the second stop out from Bampong, and food was infinitesimal, and I'm not sure exactly how we marched from there on. Everything's a bit of a haze to me until we got to a place called Kinsale. At Kinsale, I was dropped off the party, number 1 train party, and put in charge of the kitchen to prepare food for the troops coming through a number 2 train party the following day. As you know, we marched at night time, we rested during the day. Well now, having a rest and put in charge of a kitchen, there was nothing made cooking utensils. We didn't have any shelter, but we were alongside a camp of members of D-Force who were there. They had a formed camp, and I was talking to some of these fellas through the fence around them. How we got there, I'll never, what happened there, I'm hazy about it, except that I had to prepare food. We borrowed some tins from the blokes in Tarso camp and from D-Force. D-Force. No, it wouldn't be D-Force. Yes, it would be D-Force. D-Force. Some cooking utensils, and we lit fires and boiled rice. Now, I'd never cooked a grain of rice in my life, but I'm in charge of a kitchen where we got to feed about 650 blokes the next day. Well, we cooked and we had rice sticking in every bloody thing we could cook in. And I must say that when the next train party came through and we issued them, they got their rations from us, their comments were anything but complimentary about our culinary skills. In fact, they were rather rude.
Could I just interject and just ask you whether any time near Tarso or Kinsaok, you said you caught up with some of the fellows from your units, did you catch up or identify where Ian Duncan was at that stage?
Did not have any idea.
Yes.
Didn't have any idea. Ian Duncan was the MO for RAE, for engineers. He'd been in camp with us back in Australia at Bathurst. But he'd moved around in Australia too. He wasn't all the time at Bathurst with